Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, welcome everyone to our December 21st, 2021 Solstice Star Teachers Channeling event. I am also running this on YouTube Live, I think. I'm not sure. I never can tell if it's working or not, but um, hopefully it is. But for those of you who are joining me here on Zoom, thank you so much for being here today. And also to all of you who join us via the recording at any time. Remember, these events are timeless and they are just as effective no matter when you listen to them or participate in them at your leisure. So we're all here all at once forever doing this thing together. And I'm very, very appreciative of the fact that you are joining us in some way, form, or function. So I'm just trying to do one more thing. Okay, so welcome to you all. And for those of you who are new to Star Teacher Channelings, I just want to let you know that, this is me. I'm Debz Shakti. I've been channeling the teachers for many years now, and they always tell me when and where they want me to do this at what time. And so I apologize if it's not a convenient time for you, but it just is what it is. They always go with perfect windows of opportunity for our discussions and for our interactions together. Let me change this here because it is doing something strange. I apologize. I'm trying really hard to get this just right. Okay, well, it's gonna do what it's gonna do, I guess. I always have problems. I apologize. No. All right, so for those of you who are new to the Star Teachers are basically, they say they are us having evolved to a higher frequency. In other words, they're the version of us who have ascended past the third dimensional or third density frequency of human earth life. They no longer are considered earthlings, but I don't know what to call them. They're just consciousness, just as we all are. But they do not live physically on the earth. They come to us via messaging through me, usually to give the information that they want to share with everyone. And so they are sometimes considered or called ETs or interdimensionals or spirits or whatever. They're a group entity, basically higher level versions of us. And their main message, all the years I've been channeling them, is that we have already done it. In other words, we have ascended. We have jumped over that threshold of the moment when humankind either blows itself up or becomes more enlightened and joins the rest of the cosmos in co-creation, in harmony and peace and constant elevating evolvement. So that is the main message, and people always have a lot to say about that in these things, and we're really happy to take your comments and questions after the main event. So I'm just going to give you a few more little tidbits of information about them now, and then we will do a short little kind of prep to get ourselves in the right mind frame so that we can meet them at least halfway in frequency, because they are super high frequency. And here where we live is a lot slower moving, much more dense frequency. We want to be able to meet them at least halfway so that we can kind of sync up, so that you can actually hear what they're saying and understand what they're saying and receive what's coming. And we'll say that the information comes via the channel of my voice, but the words that you're hearing, the sounds that you're hearing coming out of my body are just the carrier wave for the energetic information that is coming through, which is way more vast than can be put into words. So they always say that there are lots of DNA upgrades that happen during these sessions, no matter whether you're listening live or via the recording. And there are also light code activations that are happening, because we are in a very, how do I want to say it, accelerated time now for our advancement. And so they are really working hard to get us up to speed, if you will, so that we can receive what we need and finally kind of get ourselves to escape velocity. If you think of rocket ships that have to leave the Earth, they have to have a lot of power, a lot of thrust from all of that fuel to take off and push themselves not just up off of the ground, but out of our atmosphere so that they can, travel freely through space. Well, that's kind of what we're doing now. We are gaining our escape velocity as we move forward in our enlightened, ever enlightened state, as we are raising our vibration together, as we are coming into heart coherence with each other and with these other beings who are here, have always been here trying to assist us with this. They say they can't do our homework for us, but they can certainly help us understand how to do it and move forward. So that's kind of the main thing. Sometimes healing happens during these sessions, again, whether live or via the recording. So please, if you find yourself in need of comfort or healing on any level, please always refer back to this recording. I'll be posting that on my YouTube channel, on my website, and on various social media pages for your use sometime later today or tomorrow. And that's where they will live. The main message today surrounds the solstice. And because we are global, we're not just going to say it's winter solstice, which is what we're celebrating here in the Northern Hemisphere, where I live in the United States. I live right in the center of the United States of America, but we're celebrating the solstice no matter where you live. So some of you live in the Southern Hemisphere, you're celebrating summer solstice. Basically, the solstices signify the moment when we really are focused on the light within, and the light that permeates, holds together, and continues to co-create with us life. The light is everything. The light is what contains all of the information that we need to exist and to evolve. So in winter solstice, last night was what we call the darkest night of the year. It had the least amount of light. It was the longest night of the year. Today is the day we celebrate starting to move back into having more and more sunlight each day. Whether it's a few seconds or not, it doesn't make any difference. It just means we are becoming more aware of the ever increasing light. Okay, so we have lots of festivals and events and holy traditions and celebrations that happen around this time. And it's always happened around this time since humans have been around, because we've always recognized the significance of this increasing light that's happening. For those in the Southern Hemisphere who are celebrating the summer solstice, it isn't about the fact that the light's going to decrease and their days are going to become shorter and shorter, until you got to this date in the summertime for them, where it will start increasing again. It's more about you have been able to be in this increased light for 6 months. You have been able to harvest and reap the effects of it. And now you're going to be able to use this light in a much more conscious fashion. At least that's the program of the solstices. So you all went through the longest day of your year yesterday, and today you are going to take that extra light and push it forward into your next 6 months. So the solstices are very sacred, no matter what background you come from. Even if you're a professional astronomer, we recognize these are pivotal moments where the Earth is aligned with the sun, our star, in a certain way that makes us feel a certain way. You cannot deny how you feel on these days. They are portals of great energy and great information if you will be open to them. So that's what we're doing here today. And the star teachers, my great teachers, are here to help us understand that and really grab hold of that energy and use it for the greatest good. So thanks for being with us, and hang on to your seats. I will say a couple of housekeeping things. I'm going to keep everyone muted until the interactive portion happens. That's when you can ask your questions of the teachers and interact with them. And I would ask that you use the raised hand process if you're on Zoom. For those of you on YouTube Live, I apologize. I do not have a secondary moderator. My body continues to do what the human body will do during these things. So you may see me looking over at one screen or another and working my mouse, but the teachers will be the ones who are talking. Okay, so I apologize if you are on YouTube Live and you're asking a question and in the chat, it may take a while to get to that. And in the Zoom, I literally do not see the chats because that is hidden from my view while I'm doing this. So I do apologize. So if you have questions for the teachers or comments for either of us, please use the raise hand function on Zoom. Okay, so that housekeeping is out of the way. And now I would like to just take a few moments to get us into a more conscious, focused brainwave state so that we can kind of meet halfway in that frequency, with that heightened frequency with the teachers. I'm actually, before we do that, I want to give a shout out to Costa Macris and Hollis Polk, who are here with us today. Costa is the founder of etletstalk.com, the People's Disclosure Movement, and the People's Love Alliance. He also runs a wonderful program on Facebook called A Day of Good News. So if you are starving for some kind of nice information to put in your life, you can go there every single day and see something positive and uplifting. I highly recommend you go to etletstalk.com if you're interested in learning how to make contact or in interacting with other people who are really starting to come into their own as far as connecting with non-local consciousness. Let's be honest, it doesn't matter what you call ETs, angels, spirits, fairies, guides, deities. I believe personally, you don't have to buy into this, but I believe personally that it's all consciousness, and they're all just different versions and levels of us, because there is only one mind in the universe, and it's you. And universe is misspelled in our language. It is really supposed to be spelled Y-O-U, universe. So I highly recommend you go to etletstalk.com to check out that wonderful community. You will not be sad even if you're not interested in ETs. There are so many people there, so many good people there who are willing to talk with you about sorting out your beliefs and how you're feeling, and just it's a great community. And then, of course, please check out my website too, which is just debzshakti.com. I do have a very important event coming up on January the 2nd at noon Central Time, and that is my annual Feng Shui Vision Board workshop. It is something I've been teaching for decades, and every year we make vision boards together to manifest what we want to manifest consciously, using energy and the placement of that energy using a unique process to most vision boarders, which is using the Feng Shui Bagua. It's a grid of 9 different sectors of what goes on in your life, like self-improvement, family, benefactors, travel, all of these things, career. So I hope that you will go to my website and check that out, and check all the events out that are coming up. I have lots and lots of events coming up, so I hope you join me for that. All right. Having said that, I invite all of you to just get comfortable for a few moments, and we're just going to do a really simple breath work exercise, kind of elevate our spirits, let the world go, let the world go on around us. If you can get into a quiet place, that's great. If you can't, just focus on my words and the sound of my voice, and you should be able to raise that vibration anyway. All right, because it's a conscious choice. Let's just be honest. Everything we do is a conscious choice, and you can always tune the world out if you want to, but here's a really easy way to do it. So if you'll get super comfortable, I just want you to close your eyes, roll your shoulders down your back, let your spine get nice and long. And with your closed eyes, if you can imagine looking up to the central point of your forehead there between your eyebrows, just even for a few seconds, if you do that, it will help you get more relaxed and more focused on what it is we are attempting to do, which is to raise our frequency. So looking up behind those closed eyes, I'd love it if you could inhale through your nose, preferably, for a count of 4. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold that breath for 7 counts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now exhale really long for 8 counts. 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go on your own for a little while until I cue you to stop. You can count or just now get into the rhythm of that. A shorter inhale, a long pause, and a slightly longer exhale. And now if everyone will take a long exhale. And then inhale and lightly open your eyes. And just take a look at what I'm doing. I'm going to you can either stick your fingers in your ears or just take your fingers and press in on that little outer flap that is right there next to your ear so that you kind of plug your ears up. You can hear your ears getting plugged just a little bit. And we're going to do something called the bee breath or the bee breath work. We're going to hum like a bee. It's just going to sound like this. And you're going to do it at your own pace and at your own pitch. Since we're all muted except for me, you may hear me, but don't pay so much attention to me. I want to listen to your sound. And you're going to take a deep breath and then you're going to hum with your mouth closed and your ears closed. And just notice how you feel over the next few breaths until I tell you to stop. This is a really great trick for getting really calm and focused. And it also helps if you have kind of sinus or upper respiratory things. So let's do bee breath together. Here we go. Take a deep inhale. And then at the end of your last exhale, stay silent, breathe normally, and keep your eyes closed, looking up. Just relax and notice how you feel. You might actually feel like you are buzzing. All right. And you can softly open your eyes for a moment and then just take a look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my palms together and I'm going to have my thumbs kind of sticking out like this. And I'm going to press that at that place just lightly there at the forehead. And we're going to close our eyes again, look up to the place where the thumbs are pressing, and just inhale and exhale through your nose quietly for a few moments, just to get your focus even higher, and see if you might notice a little bright white light or a lighter colored spot of light up there where your thumbs are. So just breathe quietly until I cue you to stop, looking up at that spot. Notice if you can see a little dot of light there. And you can release your hands down, but keep your eyes closed and let's meditate for just a few moments. Try to set your intention for why you're here, what it is you want to learn or receive today. Excellent. You can softly open your eyes if you like. And if you wish, you can turn on your cameras so that people watching on YouTube Live or on the recording can see you. It's more helpful if we can see part of the group at least. Don't be shy. No one cares what your room looks like. And then we're going to begin. Please know that when I channel the teachers, they come through very directly and with powerful information, again with energetic upgrades and activations. And I just sort of stand off to the side. So welcome everyone and happy solstice to you all. We are the Star Teachers. We are so grateful to you for being here with us in this beautiful moment of your eternal now. As our partner has already spoken about, the solstice is a very important portal, energetic window, if you will, to help you receive all that you need to move forward in the next few moments, days, weeks, years of your life, however you keep your concept of time. But please know that everything you desire has already happened. If you've thought about it, even for a fleeting moment, you created it on some level of your being. On many of those levels, the elevated things that you wish to create are happening to you via us, the versions of you who live on this frequency. And so we thank you. We thank you for what you are doing today and every day. Because of you, we exist. And because we exist in this moment of your eternal now, we are here to reciprocate by reaching down energetic hands to help nudge you just a little bit and remind you of who and what you really are. Unlimited, immortal beings with infinite capability to create and be whomever, whatever, and whenever you choose. There is nothing you cannot do, have, or be. And so the main message that we have for you today is about the light. The solstices are about celebrating and recognizing the light within all of life. All life, all of creation is made from the same energy. It doesn't matter what dimension or frequency it exists on, it is all still the same energy. And energy never dies, it merely changes form and frequency. By way of changing frequency, the rate of oscillation that it vibrates, basically, to use your words, the form changes. So where you exist right now, in the third dimensional earth plane as a human being, you are vibrating within a certain range of oscillations that make you and everything around you seem solid, real, in quotes. But everything is real. All thoughts are things. All feelings are the waves that these thought things express and crystallize depending on how fast they are vibrating. It's basic physics, but it is a universal law. So, how do you hit the escape velocity, as our partner was speaking about earlier, to escape, or a better word is to choose to move to a different frequency that is more preferable to how you would like to experience your life in this moment and in the coming moments? How do you do that? Well, we're here to tell you that you do it by consciously becoming more and more aware within yourself. Conscious self-awareness helps you to hone in on what it is you want and how to manifest it via the vibrational frequency. So let's say that you want something simple. Let's say that you want an ice cream cone for dessert tonight after your supper. Well, you can sit all day and chant to yourself, ice cream cone, ice cream cone, ice cream cone, ice cream cone. And that might help you focus enough to actually have an ice cream cone manifest in your life. More than likely, it's going to make you realize that you have to, at some point, get up off of your meditation cushion, stop chanting, and go out and buy yourself an ice cream cone. But it doesn't always work that way. A different way to manifest that ice cream cone is to have the conscious feeling state manifested within your being of what it is like to actually have that ice cream cone right now. You have to feel in your hand. You have to give yourself all the sensory input that you can. How does it smell, feel, look, taste? Does it make a sound when you bite into it? And when you can really get that under your collective consciousness belt, you will have an ice cream cone. We know that many human beings, regular human beings, there are no regular, they're all exceptional, but many ancient human beings, the yogis, for instance, some of those yogic masters and Buddhist priests were able to manifest platters of food for their followers during events out of seemingly thin air. And it's because they had mastered that process of feeling that they already had what they were desiring. And so in today's solstice celebration, we are sending you extra information to upgrade the DNA strands within your own physical body, the network of wiring that is keeping you moving and creating and growing, and also in your energy field to help you become more activated by the light and the codes that are encompassed in that light to help you manifest what it is you desire and require more consciously and volitionally, when you want and how you want. Now, some of you, we can hear your mind saying, yeah, but if I do that, won't it harm somebody else? You know, don't I have to pay attention to 5 million other things so that I don't have to pay the karmic consequences if I make a mistake? Well, number one, you can never make a mistake. No one ever does. Everything that happens for a specific reason and is part of the divine puzzle that is creation. And all the puzzle pieces fit, no matter how you put them in. You may not notice that they fit at the moment, and they may feel very discordant as you look around your world right now. Mark our words, hear them well. Every single thing that happens, every single choice that is made by you and all of the collective that are the beings in the cosmos, all of them fit together perfectly. And if you could zoom out far enough and see the complete picture, you would see that everything is always in perfect accord. How it fits together more perfectly than ever and more quickly than ever and in a more desirable, more fun and exciting way is if everyone does what they prefer the most from the purest place of their being. So if you want an ice cream cone and the person next to you does not, it's not going to harm them for you to have that ice cream cone, nor will you harm yourself. It's a simple exercise. That person gets to do what they want. When all beings in our frequency manifest consciously in the manner that we are talking about, there is no discord. There is only harmony and greater reason for celebration, because there is no resistance when all beings follow their highest joy from the pure place of love in their heart. Those are the two main elements. You can't do it from a greedy perspective or a perspective of us versus them or a perspective of fear. I have to get away from this, so I need to manifest this. Those emotions don't play into this equation. We are talking about high-level feeling states of joy, of equanimity, of mutual respect and love, unconditional love and acceptance of all beings and all things. In other words, you really have to trust that all is well. So that's a big plate of ideas to serve up to you on this celebration day. But you are ready to receive that. You're ready to chomp down on it. And the way that you can understand it more and more is if you get into whatever process of meditation is best for you on a daily basis. We cannot stress that enough. This is the most important pivotal point of power that you have ever experienced as a species, as a planet. And the way that you come together in that group coherence, that heart coherence, so that what you desire manifests instantly and without consequence, negative consequence to yourself or others, so that everyone is in coherence, is through deep, pure, loving meditation. So if you need to learn how to do that, you could go to our partner's website or the websites mentioned earlier, or any number of social media channels and find out how to do the type that feels best to you. Some of you might like just to walk in nature, which is a wonderful thing to do. Some like to sit in stillness, some like to chant. It doesn't matter. But going within is the way you recognize and draw yourself to and expand within that divine light that we are talking about. Please know that all beings, all of creation, are conscious, even the things you think are inorganic. Please don't think in such a small way. All of life is conscious, and all of consciousness can be coherent in the love state. So we are advising you today to focus more and more on how you can feel love. And we'll take you through a little process in a few moments to help you connect with that. And you can use this recorded version later as often as you like to get there over and over again. And it will help reinforce and expand your ability. Love is the key. Hear some of your mind saying, how can I love some of the people who live on our planet right now who are so greedy, so violent, so hateful, so hating. How can we love them? We need to protect ourselves from this, that, or the other. There is no need to protect yourself from anything if that's not your highest excitement, if that's not your highest joy. What you should be, and we hope that you will hear this, what you eventually realize that you are to do is to focus on what is the most positive way for you to express in this life in each and every moment. Be joyful, be kind, be compassionate. Above all, be forgiving and unconditionally loving of all beings. We understand it is difficult for you to do that with some of the beings that you see in your news every single day who seem to be oppressing or trying to oppress others. Everyone is expressing in the way that they feel best to express, and some of them are doing it very, very unconsciously. Don't let that bother you or take you away from what is your task, which is to express from the highest level, the purest loving level of your own being. Remember, love absolutely aces all other vibrational frequencies and helps to raise the vibrational frequency of the others around it. So, what we want to focus on today is that you are becoming the more conscious beacon of that light, that divine spark of light that is within each and every being, within all parts of the cosmos of creation. So, what we'd like for you to do is to relax and to allow us to take you through just a couple of spoken words to help you connect with that, to visualize it, to feel it, and to program yourself to be able to connect with it at all times. The more you connect with that divine spark of light within you and expand upon it and transmit it as you are moving through your daily life, the more it will affect everyone and everything in your daily life, and it will begin this momentum. Please remember, you've already done this. You've already achieved it. You have become us. Now we are just trying to encourage you to not just remember that or even dream of it, but to feel it. And when you feel it, to feel it more and more and more. And as you do, you will begin to see the evidence of it in your world and in your life. And the more evidence you see, what you might call synchronicity, the more reinforced this becomes and the more powerful you become as far as the creator of what it is we're telling you you have already created. So here we go. You may do this with open eyes or closed eyes, but we want you to relax. Remember, relaxation is key. Most of you are not able to relax fully because you have become so accustomed to the frenetic pace of your reality. But it's not the only reality. And so we ask you to just take a few deep breaths, to unclench your jaws, to let your shoulders relax, and to sink into that physical space where you are. Let your body become heavy and let the gravitational embrace of your beautiful planet, Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, hold you in her arms. And with your closed eyes, we'd like for you to look up again at that point that our partner talked about, what the yogis call the Ajna chakra. Some people mistakenly call this the third eye, but it's not. The third eye is a little gland in the center top of your brain called the pineal gland. This chakra is the window, the lens that the third eye sees out of. So with your closed eyes, focus on that and notice again, if you can bring up even in your imagination, a tiny spot of bright white light will help you right now by pressing that right there. Now breathe into that light. Feel the physical breath coming through that spot, not just through your nose. Feel it coming through that spot and into your body. And as you exhale, feel everything that is not coherent with that beautiful divine alignment. Feel it leave your body and your consciousness. Two things that are completely the opposite cannot exist in the same space, if you will. And so we are going to grow this light more and more so that you can release that which is not that light. So again, inhale, and as you breathe in the air around you, think about that light expanding and becoming brighter and brighter. It doesn't burn your eyes, it doesn't burn anything, it's just bright white light. And as you exhale, feel pain, suffering, confusion, anger, all of those things that you no longer want to manifest in your life, feel them leaving your body through your exhalation. And know that as you exhale them, you're transmuting them into more light. So you're not harming anyone or anything by letting go of that which you no longer wish to manifest. Breathe in again. And as you breathe in, realize you are breathing in the air that has been in every lung of every being on your planet at some time, even in the most ancient of times, because the air has always been here, it's just been recycled. And as you exhale, give that back to another being or beings. You are breathing prehistoric air. You are breathing in light that began with the Big Bang and beyond. You are breathing in all of the stars. Feel that. See that light expand and grow. Now breathe in that light and see it as a bright star and send it down to your heart. Feel the warmth in your chest. You can literally feel it. If you want to focus on it more, place a hand on your heart and feel your palm tingle where it's touching your heart. Feel that light charging your hand. And if you like, still with your eyes closed, just pull your hand away and face it out into the world. Maybe think about a person you'd like to send that light to and intend that that light is moving from the palm of your hand, being fed by your heart light out to that person or that situation. You might feel a lot of energy in that palm right now. You might feel a lot of energy in your heart and in your brow. Keep sending. Think of others who need this light. Think of other situations that might need to be dissolved or transmuted by this light. Now stop thinking about it and start feeling it. How does it feel to change that which was no longer needed or wanted with this light? How does it feel to amp up the energy in the people around you and in yourself? How does it feel to know that you are literally manipulating energy right now for the greatest good, from the pure essence of your kind, loving heart? The best part of you now is growing and expanding in your conscious awareness. You can put your hand down if it was raised and know that you are still transmitting more and more profusely. This light is showering out of you like a fountain. like water from a fireman's water hose. It's pouring out of you and drenching everything around you. This light, the more you pour it out of you, the more of it comes into you. It's a perpetual process of give and receive. Maybe in your mind's eye, you see yourself shooting this light at the beings who most need it, known and unknown. And with this light comes forgiveness that's needed for these people who may have wronged you. But also remember that the light is pouring through you, and forgiveness, if you will allow it, is being received from those who you may have hurt or harmed, known or unknown. This is what we call enlightenment, the reciprocal process of pulling in, receiving, utilizing, and sending out, transmitting this highest version of light energy, the source that is you. We encourage you to do this for a few minutes every day or many times a day. Become more consciously aware of when you are out of alignment with this feeling of coherence, of community in love and light. And take a few moments and do this process again. Maybe you do it for a singular person or situation. You can use it in any way you choose, as long as you come from the purest place of unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude in your heart and in your mind. Remember, all beings and all things in life are your teachers. Just as you are teaching others, they are teaching you. Sometimes the lessons are hard, sometimes they're not very pretty, but you can bow in thanks and in blessings to those teachers who give you the hardest lessons and send them on their way with a little bit more light. Transmutation is just that, positive change by the will of your spirit through love. And so, now that you've been given this process, and now that this process has been working with you via the carrier waves of our words and our energetic process, we are now ready to have you come back into your physical awareness, knowing that you have already changed everything for the highest and the greatest and the most harmonious good. And we are ready to interact with you, answer your questions, take your comments. We love you and we thank you so much. In Lakash, we are another you. And so, as you come back, are there any questions for us that we can answer for you? Is there anything that we can do to help you understand or enjoy life more? Does no one have any questions? Nothing you'd like to ask of us? That's okay if you already have it all. You do. We just want you to make sure you're conscious of it. Wonderful. Well, we want you to trust that you have all the information you need always.
Hi, Debs. Hi, teachers. This is
Hello, dear Costa. Would you like to speak?
yeah. Um, First of all, thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with all of us.
Our deep pleasure.
It does us a lot of good. And as we look out on the new year coming, there are many challenges, of course, facing us always in our personal lives, but also globally. And I wonder how, with the new challenge with the virus that is going out and getting another surge, what is there to be learned from this next wave and whatever other waves there might be after it? I I'm sure there's a deep spiritual significance to what is going on, to what we're experiencing. So I wonder what your perspective is.
Well, thank you for the question. And our answer is the same as it's been ever since your awareness of this virus and its various mutations have arrived. And that is that the original intent of the virus, as you call it, was to deliver an informational upgrade package to humanity from the higher levels of your being. It got kind of sideswiped by some greedy human beings who had other agendas, and so it was released all at once instead of going in a customized way to the different people who were ready. Originally, it was supposed to come to the humans who had a certain frequency already embedded and in their energetic frequency, and it was to assist them to move forward. It's like if you were to put too much electricity into a wire that doesn't have any sheathing on it and that's not grounded, it would burn out that wire. It would melt the wire. Well, basically, that's what's happened with this virus. Not everyone on your planet was at the same level of frequency. And so those who were not in alignment with that high enough level of frequency to be able to receive the information the way it was meant, either began to experience illness, disease, or even letting go of the body, death, as you call it. But remember, there is no death. There is only change of form and frequency, and the energy and the consciousness that you are. You do not die. So what happened is the powers that want to stay in power, there are some, beings who are still not where you are. Those of you who are listening to this are of a higher level of frequency, or you wouldn't have been drawn to this event in the first place. But there are many beings out there who wish to control, manipulate, for their own pleasure or, accumulation of power or things. They use the fear, the fear factor of this, of getting sick, of dying, to control the population. And then there are other factors who, because the fear changes people so quickly on so many levels, there are countless factions out there who are trying to prove they are the ones with all the information, they are right, they are the ones who are the most knowledgeable, you should be following them. And really all this is, we want to remind you so gently, is small thinking. You are way more intelligent than that. It's okay to be discerning and to do what you feel is needed to take care of yourself and your family, but not at the expense of losing your internal connection to that light that reminds you that you already have what you need. And that if you don't like the chaos and the confusion and the violence and the control and manipulation that is seemingly all around you, and it's not, by the way, it's just what you've allowed yourself to permeate this thinking process that we call your ego mind. But if you are worried about all of that, that's all you're going to see in your world. We know these are hard words to receive. We've been giving them to you for over 2 years. All of you, we're speaking rhetorically now. If you can stay grounded in the fact that there is nothing ever to fear, because the greatest fear, of course, in humanity is the fear of death, and there is no death. Remember, you change form and frequency. You never die. The body dies, and there can be some suffering along the way, but that suffering is zero interesting once you have allowed your consciousness to make that switch. And we're not saying everybody just go out and die from the body so that you can get out of this kind of turmoil tornado that you're in. No, what we're saying is it's even easier than that. Seat yourself in the stillness and joy of whatever spiritual practice you have that brings you into a deep state of meditation. Change your brainwave state to become coherent with the brainwave and the heartwave state of love, of forgiveness, of acceptance, of blessing, and your world will start to change in the outer realization of it. The reason why you see this virus becoming more and more invasive, and there's more and more divisiveness in your society over its pervasiveness, is because that is what you choose, and you choose to focus upon. If you chose to focus upon living the way you would live if this virus was no longer here, just take a few moments every day to imagine that. How would you live if the virus was not here? How would you live if these factions of people that you are worried about or that you're blaming for causing this, that, and the other thing that causes you discomfort, if all of that was taken away, how would you live your life? Let's put it a different way. Every day we'd like for you to take just a few moments, all of you, to sit in stillness, to get into that brainwave state that we just helped you get into, where you're very relaxed and focused and not letting the world come in. And then ask yourself the simple question: if I had no obstacles to my happiness, to how I want to live my life, what would that look like? More importantly, what would that feel like? And then go deeper in your imagination to bring it into your feeling state. Walk yourself through your day. How would I live my life if I had nothing holding me back, if I had nothing to fear? And start small. If there was no longer, and this is not that small, but if there was no longer the coronavirus to worry about, how would I live my life today? What would I do in my day if I didn't spend so much time worrying about catching it, getting sick from it, dying from it, my loved ones suffering from it, people being manipulated by the people wanting to either keep us safe from it or promote it, or whatever conspiracy theory, fill in the blank here, fits. We're not being flippant here. We really want you to do this process. Take several moments every day and literally feel yourself in a world where you have no obstacles. Do it to the best of your ability with all your feeling states. How would it smell, sound, feel? What would it look like? How would people behave? How would you behave? And then here is the kicker. Get up off of your chair or your cushion and go out into your life and do that. Do it in spite of what you perceive in the world. Remember what we said earlier. If you do what you prefer most, with your intention coming from the pure space of your heart, and if all beings start to do that, the world will come into coherence and all will be happy and nothing will cause discord with anything. This is how it comes into coherence. It's like what happens when our partner is doing these broadcasts on two different platforms. One has a little bit of a delay, but she's already speaking on the other platform and it's being heard by those on that platform and affecting them. And a few seconds later, it's coming through on the other one, slightly delayed, but it's still being heard. It doesn't mean one is any better than the other. So in the physical world where you live now is very slow moving. You are living on at least two channels, but here's the secret. You're living on trillions of channels every moment of your reality. You're just not focused consciously on them. But if you can focus consciously for even a few minutes a day on how you would live your life if you had nothing holding you back from your joy, from your preferred vision of what life should be, and then go out and live that way despite everything you see, because everything you see is that delayed channel, just by a little bit. It has to catch up, but you keep living your life the way that you envision it, and your life will change and it will start to affect the others around you. And if more of you start to do this, well, then guess what? You're in our world and we are literally you. That's all this is. We are you, having finally realized this is the way you do it. We did it, and now we live in joy, just like the rest of the cosmos. The Earth, third dimensional human life school is just a tiny little, side street that you decided to take for greater learning and greater experience. You can leave it anytime you choose by going into meditation, and you can start to bring that more into your physical world the more you practice it consciously. The way you do it, the way you did it, the way we became who we became is you stopped worrying about all of it and focusing on all of it and blaming others for it and questioning who's right and who's wrong, and in stopping the need to be the one who's right. Just live. Live joyfully. Live thoughtfully. Live mindfully. Live lovingly. See the spark of divine light in every person, especially those who are maybe moving in that slower speed, who are still trying to control things. See the divine light in them, bless it, thank it, forgive anything that is not the light in them and yourselves. One day you'll wake up and realize you're us. We hope that helps. And thank you for the question. Does anyone else have anything? All right. We understand that was a big plate of cosmic food that we just threw in your face. It might take a couple of more times of listening to it, and then it might take a few days or weeks or however long of practicing it. But we promise you, this is how you do it. This is how you did it. And this is how we came into being. For that, we thank you and love you with all of our being, eternally grateful for it all, for every bit of it, because it is just life. When you can learn to trust and stop judging it all so much, there won't be anything to be afraid of. It's just like choosing to ride the scary roller coaster or the kiddie cars, depending on how you feel that day in the amusement park of life. We don't mean to be or sound flippant. This is the way the universe works. Remember, it is the YO universe, and you get to choose how you live it and experience it. If you don't like how it's playing out, choose a different focus. Put all your energy into that focus, and then walk out your door and live your life the way you envision that focus. Despite what other people think or say about what you're doing, you have to be brave, really brave, and you have to trust that you're right, because guess what? Everyone's right. All beliefs are true for the people who are focused on them. But a belief is nothing more than a collection of thoughts that you keep thinking over and over again and acting as if it were real. We hope this helps. We love you so much. We hope to speak to you again soon. In Lakash, we are another you. All right, folks. I guess that's kind of the end of their message and their transmission, their interaction right now. It didn't feel like it took a long time, but I don't know. We can't see a clock anywhere. So I hope that everyone got what they needed. Does anybody want to say anything to me before we go, or to each other? You can turn your cameras on if you like, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
Debz, thank you again for giving of yourself, your time, and your energy. I just want to let you know that we so appreciate you and the Star Teachers doing this over and over and over again, and making sure that the message is clear to all of us, even if you have to say it to us over and over again. It's not lost on us. I need to hear things more than once. I know that. So thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you, Costa. And I appreciate you for saying that. As you know, I don't experience it the same way you do. I'm in another place, kind of compartment when they're speaking. So I will have to go back and listen to it. I don't receive it at the same time as you do. But I hope that you got what you needed. And for those of you who this was maybe your first time to experience it, please hang in there. It can be a lot. It really can. And sometimes I go back and listen to these recordings. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was just way too hard, or way too much. But there seems to be a method to madness, if you will. All these different years, all of these different transmissions and broadcasts that they've given, the message seems to be pretty much the same, but they give more information and more energetic help as we go along. So thanks for hanging in there. I really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone who's here. I have to say this again, no one is here by mistake. You are here absolutely on purpose to spend time with the people who are here and who will be listening in whatever time frame in the future that they're listening. It's like there's a community of souls that comes together and gives higher grade energy to these. So thank you to everyone. And thanks to all of you who are working so hard in your own parts of the world to bring this love and this truth and this goodness about, despite what you are witnessing in the world. You know, Cost and Hollis, you do your part with the beautiful, beautiful and absolutely selfless work that you do out in the world. I see several others on this call who I know are great teachers, powerful healers, fantastic, channelers, their own guides. Each of you has a gift or many gifts that you can share. I can't express this more deeply. Please spend more time than ever sharing your gifts and being of service to people right now. There's never been a greater time to do this, but there's never been a time when it's more received well. The energy is here for us, so let's make good use of it. Okay? All right, friends, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here with me today and with the teachers, and I really appreciate all of you. If anyone has any final words, please say, and if not, we will end this, and I'll put the recording out there a little bit later today for everyone. And thanks to everyone on the YouTube Live. I hope that you were able to hear it well, and I hope that your questions were answered. Usually, if one person asks a question, it's what the collective wants to hear too. But if you need more private answers, I'm always here for you too. Please just connect with me. Amy, did you want to say something?
I just want to say I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Another big light worker in our world. Dr. Amy Casey, thank you so much for being here. I know that it took a lot to be here for all of you. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And have a beautiful solstice. Go out there, take that light, and spread it to the world. And Lakesh, love you. Bye.